Blaine Graboyes, co-founder and CEO of GameCo. Maybe you can start by telling us a little more to get to know your products, the products you're offering, how does this skill-based feature works, and based on the previous experiences you had in other U.S. states, why do you think this could work in a market like Nevada?
Excellent. Well, thank you for having me on. I'm Blaine Graboyes. I'm the co-founder and CEO of GameCo, and we were founded to bring video games to casinos. Our first product, which we just completed our Nevada field trial for, is called the Video Game Gambling Machine, or VGM, and it's a very exciting milestone to have finished our Nevada field trial and now be poised to put out our products in Nevada as casinos reopen over the coming weeks and months. As we've operated the games over the last 3 years, we've also collected an enormous amount of data. And at the end of 2019, we worked with a data scientist to evaluate that data and develop a number of insights and performance metrics that have really informed us in terms of making games and bringing products to the market. So at a very high level, in terms of the insights that we've learned, we see that typically our games are the #1 product in the casino monetizing millennial audiences, which is very much in line with the original founding thesis at GameCo that new different products would attract and monetize new, different, and younger casino gamers and players. Specifically, we see that 81% of the spending on our games is from Gen X and millennial customers at the casino, and that compares to only about 20% of spending from the same demographic on slot machines. So that's a huge validation of our vision that bringing video games to the casino would unlock a new audience for our industry.
And were you able to see this reflected during this 6-month trial in Nevada?
We were able to see very similar results here in Nevada. We collected data from 3 different sources during our field trial. One was data from the machines themselves. The second was data from the casino operators. And the last was through interviews and discussions with players on the casino floor. Mm-hmm. We could definitely just see visually that it was a much younger audience than the typical casino customer for slot machines. And a lot of that also had to do with the placement of the machines inside of the casino. So for example, at the Link here in Nevada on the Strip, which is a Caesars property, the games were right next to the sports book. And typically sports betting customers are younger than slot players. Another example is at Park MGM, the games were right outside of a really cool speakeasy called On the Record. So that venue is attracting a younger audience, and therefore you'd expect, and we saw younger audiences to congregate there. MGM was very interesting because they collected a lot of demographic data on not just our games, but other similar games. And the data they shared with us very much validated what we had seen elsewhere, which is our products and other similar products are different from slot machines and should really be evaluated differently, primarily around their ability to attract and monetize these Gen X and millennial customers.
Great, I see. And can you describe a little or walk us through the process you undertook to lead into this final approval in Nevada? How long has it taken, and anything you want to tell us about this whole process?
Sure. Well, we were the first company to put out skill-based games in North America in the fall of 2016. And we've really been running a R&D operation since then, developing new generations of games, putting them into different markets, collecting feedback and data from players and operators with a focus on iteration and improving the overall player experience and ability to generate revenue for the casinos. Nevada has a very well-structured field trial program where really they're looking at the technical execution of the game's platform with the casino's management system and the ability to properly record wagers and results and have proper financial reporting and stable operation. Field trial is typically up to 180 days. And we met regularly with the Nevada Gaming Control Board to give them updates on the process. And at the end of it, you submit a report, as well as the casinos submit reports as well. We did our field trial at 4 locations in Nevada, the Link and Park MGM, which I mentioned previously, MGM Grand, also here on the Strip, and the Atlantis up in Reno. So we were able to collect data from multiple properties and be able to look at the performance across those different casinos.
Right. So, and you made it very clear that your target audience is millennials and Gen Z.
We always like to say Gen X.
Gen X, sorry.
Yeah, Gen Z is a little young for the casino. But also I think it's interesting, I'm Gen X. And so much of the discussion in the casino industry is about boomers and millennials. And I feel a little left out of the discussion as if my entire generation doesn't exist. But actually in the US, the Gen X generation has the most spending power of any generation. We are looking for these entertainment opportunities. We were the first generation to really grow up playing video games. And we think that Gen X, along with millennials, are a massive opportunity for casino operators. I'm a huge fan of slot machines. The slot manufacturers and game designers are making amazing slot machines. And I don't think that casinos need new offerings from slot manufacturers. What the casinos have always asked us for are new, different products, innovative products that appeal to new, different audiences. So from day one, we've been focused on what we call casino gamers. The average video gamer, according to the ESA in the US, is 33 years old. Based on data available to us, the average eSports fan is in their mid to late 20s. So we've really been focused on that 25 to 35-year-old audience who are video gamers and eSports fans.
I see. That's very clear. And how do you think, well, if there will be effects after this COVID pandemic starts to clear out? How do you imagine this will impact the casinos reopening, your business areas, and in the short and long term? What do you think the landscape, the exit landscape will look like?
The COVID pandemic was completely unprecedented. And so a lot of the last few months has been focused on the health and safety of our employees at GameCo. We're almost entirely work from home, and those who aren't are very much able to work in a safe, socially distanced environment, and really rethinking what the land-based casino experience is going to be like, and accelerating our focus into digital, which I'll talk about in a moment as well. In terms of what casinos are going to be like when they reopen, we've started to spend a lot of time with trade groups like the AGA and AGEM. Nevada's Gaming Control Board have started to issue recommendations for casinos and suppliers, and we've been speaking to a lot of the casino operators directly. We will absolutely, and of course, be following all the guidelines set out by our CDC, gaming regulators, and operators. As we send staff back into the field, we'll very much be focused on safety and health and well-being of everyone on our team. We have had to rethink some of our products. For example, our multiplayer arena originally envisioned the players being spaced quite closely together, and now we've been spreading out that experience. Most of our carousel or pod VGM installations already supported 6 feet or more between the machines. but we are open to and working with operators to prefer to have divider panels between the machines as well. And we've just generally been thinking about what's the guest experience going to be like, and working with operators to figure out how they want to provide the best hospitality and welcoming experience for their customers. Again, all of this with a primary focus on the health and well-being of everyone involved. And then the other thing for GameCo has really been accelerating our reach and development into digital. We had already been thinking about how we were going to bring our products to iGaming casinos. In April, we announced our partnership with a company called Grid, bringing their eSports data product to casinos and sports books for eSports betting and fan engagement. We've definitely seen growth in eSports betting and video game playing and eSports viewership in general during this period. So we're seeing a lot of demand for the Grid product in North America, where we offer it. We're also just getting ready to release our first iGaming game into Europe, and working with a North American casino and sportsbook operator to bring some of our products to the North American audience as well. So definitely accelerating our growth into iGaming and esports.
Great. Yeah. Well, I was just about to ask you about the esports betting. This the US was developing very rapidly the sports betting market. So how would you say that your strategies are to stand out from competition in when the sports betting market, the esports betting market starts to grow, maybe to consolidate in the different states? How would you stand out? What is your approach?
We're thrilled about our partnership with Grid. It is, in our opinion, the best esports data product offering. And that's because we're bringing the largest collection of official esports data directly from sanctioning bodies like publishers and leagues. And this is going to unlock an entirely new type of fan engagement and allow for in-play wagering around esports in jurisdictions that support that. So we're working with regulators in jurisdictions that already allow esports betting. We're working with regulators in jurisdictions that are opening up esports and sports betting to help them understand the specifics around the esports audience, and working with casinos and sportsbook operators specifically in terms of how to engage with the esports fan. There is a good overlap between esports and typical sports, probably more than most people realize, but the esports audience definitely is specialized. So it's important that casinos and sportsbook operators understand the esports audience, and we're helping them do that very proactively as we bring the Grid product to North America. And as I just mentioned, we're seeing a lot of demand. What I think is really important during this time, while traditional sports isn't operating, isn't just additional engagement with existing esports fans, but really educating the rest of the market, traditional sports bettors, and those that might not be esports fans or even involved in sports betting at all, helping them understand esports, helping them understand the specific games like CSGO, Dota 2, League of Legends. Those are probably the three biggest for esports betting. And widening the audience during this time, not just getting more engagement from existing fans. Now is a great time to educate a wider audience so that over the next year to 3 years, we're able to build this into a really viable business for everyone.
Yeah, I see. And to finish off, I think, I don't know if you can mention some other emerging technology that you may foresee that will have more uses in the iGaming industry. And I don't know, blockchain, machine learning, big data. I don't know. Is there anything you have in mind to work more for the long term in terms of these rising technologies in the iGaming industry?
We're very excited about our casino esports product lines. There's been so much interest from the casino industry around esports, but not a lot of ways for them to make money because their primary business is gaming. So certainly the grid offering is a big part of that. And then another big part of it for us is our multiplayer arena, which I touched on earlier. It's a platform enhancement for our VGM that takes our single player games and adds 2 additional gameplay modes. One is challenge mode, where up to 8 players can compete locally or remotely for a pot and the house takes a rake. And then the other is tournament mode, which brings real esports style brackets directly to the casino floor with up to 32 players competing for cash and prizes. We're looking at other casino esports products as well, with a primary focus on giving casino operators ways to monetize esports in their gaming business. And that's not just land-based, that's online as well. We'll be releasing some products in the online space that brings head-to-head and multiplayer gaming into iGaming as well.
Great, very clear. I think we covered everything, every topic, relevant topic, at least for today. So thank you very much for your time and patience. And we'll see you next time. Another opportunity to discuss about the effects this whole challenging situation is bringing to the gaming industry. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the
Blaine.
opportunity, Juan, and look forward to revisiting.